Hi, my name is Shermaine. I'm 21 years old this year, and I'm studying communications in NTU. And I'm currently on my internship semester when I had the coronavirus last month.
Hi, my name is Jennevieve. I'm currently 24 years old and I was doing an internship at a startup in New York City. I was on New York, I think I contracted the COVID-19 virus and I was eventually diagnosed on the 27th of March 2020. I'm currently at the resort, serving out my isolation.
So I honestly thought we would not get the
We were
virus.
making a lot of jokes and we didn't take it seriously at all. But then eventually the severity of the situation hit us. We did try to do the best we could, we got masks and a lot of hand sanitizer, but apart from that, it was very hard to get face masks because people were stockpiling them. But we managed to get gloves in the very least. So. But it still clearly wasn't enough.
For me, it was because we were serving our stay-home notice, and I was serving it in a hotel. I found it very strange because I lost my sense of taste and smell. It was not normal for me. And then I had a bit of dry cough the week before. I suspected I might have it, and then I'm afraid that if the virus actually lasted for more than 2 weeks, then I might go home and then spread it to my parents. So I took the test out of precaution.
For me, it was after me got tested positive, and someone from MOH called me, and then they asked me a lot of questions, and then I mentioned that I did have a mild sore throat, and she said she'll call me back in a while. And when she did, an ambulance brought me to Sengkang General Hospital. And over there, I think over a process of 2 to 3 hours, I got tested and a bit better because compared to NCID, SPH does the throat swab. So what they do is that they just stick the Q-tip in down your throat and then they just wiggle it, which is not as painful as the nose swab. And I was allowed to go home after that. And then the next day, when the MOH personnel called me, she said that she would actually activate the ambulance again because I had been tested positive, and then I was immediately sent to SPH where I spent around I think 6 to 7 days there in complete isolation.
It was really scary because when I was younger, I used to have a history of asthma. I was scared that it would be worse for me, but fortunately it wasn't that bad. The ward was really isolated. All the hospital staff were decked out in full-on protective gear. And every time they entered our ward, they would have to put on a new set of protective gear, and then when they leave the ward, they would have to change and discard all the previous ones, which I felt really bad for them because they kept having to do that for every single ward, and there were a lot of wards. I can tell it wasn't easy for them. I was in the hospital for 4 days, and I think the 4 days were really quite bad because nobody knew what was going to happen next. And when you ask the doctors for any information, nobody could really give you a straight answer because it is still a very unknown virus. So yeah, it was a bit terrifying at first.
You feel like a pariah a bit because everyone's staying away from you. They don't want to talk to you. They want to look at you. It's a very weird experience. It was really hard, so I tried my best talk to my friends every day. I wouldn't feel so alone. I remember even in my room, my only interaction with the outside world was this big glass window. I couldn't really interact with anyone, and it was very, very lonely. The nurses and the doctors really did their best to make me feel very comfortable. In isolation, I remember I was very alone. It was terrible because it's you're only alone with yourself. I can't even look up. I remember the doctor who was on anesthesia kept coming in to talk to me and actually make conversation and tried to get to know me. So that actually elevated my mood a lot.
Of course, I was continuously getting tested positive back in the resort. So my mom was quite concerned about me because she knew I couldn't be alone for that long period of time. So she actually went to call the care hotline, which is a hotline for people who are going through mental distress. She was really quite concerned about me. But I guess it's nice my parents actually cared that much about me.
For me, my parents, it really hit them really hard because my mother would always call me and she'll be like, I'm so sorry I didn't take you seriously. I think my parents miss me a lot. My mother keeps calling me and getting upset when I continuously get positive tests. I remember every time I got a test positive, I would spend that entire day in bed because I was so upset. I stopped eating. I'm not in a place where I want to be. And it was only after my roommate conscientiously forced me to eat every single meal that I feel my mood improving.
I think by the 2 week point when my friend left, I felt really hopeless. I didn't feel that lonely at first. But then after 2 weeks, she recovered and she left. I was really happy for her. But then I was given another roommate who couldn't really speak much English. So I was pretty much alone by that time.
I was very lucky because I got a roommate who I could actually get along with very, very well. We ended up becoming very fast friends. So it wasn't as lonely as it would have been. Like, we did a lot of things together. Like, we made TikTok videos, we started a book club, we started watching movies together, we watched a lot of reality TV together. It was fun, because I have someone my age to do these things with me. I think we actually have a really good friendship right now, so that's really good.
The most touching time in my isolation was when my cell group from church, they got me like a huge bouquet of flowers. And my parents cooked me an entire local meal because we haven't had local food in really long. So they cooked me all my favorite stuff, which was really touching to me.
Every time there was a test, my mother would prepare for me to come out on the third day, and she'll be like, okay, I'll cook you laksa, or I'll cook you whatever you want. And then when it comes back positive, she would be even sadder than me. And that in itself was so sweet. For her to make laksa, it's like a 5-hour job. So it's very sweet for her to even think about doing those things for me. Okay, so basically, my room faces the Pasir Ris Park. So my parents, they stood way out at Pasir Ris Park where we could wave at each other and talk. And that was actually quite the happiest moment. And then that night itself, another friend of mine actually came down to stand there and wave at me as well. And we were on the phone and talking, and even though it wasn't like physical interaction, but it was still, one of the happier moments.
So yesterday when I had my first few feelings of sunlight on my skin and being able to walk more than 20 meters, it almost felt a bit weird. I wasn't used to it. And then the first thing I did was take a shower. I'm using a different toilet for my entire family, and I'm still trying to avoid my parents. I still try to stay in my own room, and when I leave my room, I put on a mask. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from them just in case. I am glad that the circuit breaker extended, honestly. It was what we needed. And if there is still anyone who isn't taking this circuit breaker seriously, I think that is not very smart of them. Especially during the bubble tea ban, I heard that loads of people rushed down bubble tea chains, which was really disappointing to see because we did not have a 2 weeks circuit breaker for that. Yeah, I just hope that everyone would take it seriously for the next month, and then we can all get over this thing and move on with our lives.
I have to agree. As much as I hate the idea of being cooped up in my house up until June, the circuit breaker is definitely what we needed. When I first returned to Singapore, I remember seeing on my Instagram people were still going out to bars, they were going to restaurants and everything. Nobody was taking it seriously. I feel like we have this false sense of security because the Singapore government really just takes care of us so much. People end up taking that for granted instead of actually seeing the reality of the situation.
I think just stay positive. These are really strange times, but I hope that everyone out there understands that this is not this is definitely something that 2020 has thrown at us, and it's not normal. So I think it's okay to just be sad. Yeah. And also I understand that I kept saying stay home. There was this point where I was replying to people's stories to people who are not staying home. I would be like, can you please go home? It was quite bad of me because I realized that it's not easy for everyone to stay home. I understand that now. So I think just be supportive of each other, check how our friends are doing, and just think about others, especially in this kind of situation.
Also, to add on, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on people. I see a lot of posts on Instagram and Facebook about how if you never learn a new skill, or if you didn't pick up a new hobby or something like that, you're not there's something about you not being lazy or something like that. I mean, something about you being lazy, but I don't think that's the case. I think that it's fine because this is really an unprecedented situation, and it's not your fault if you can't really do something every day, because this is not something you're prepared for or whatever. So it's fine. Take your time and just do everything in your own pace, and just understand that everyone else is going through the same thing as you, and it's okay to not be so hard on yourself. Stay home. Don't go out.